chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win. Both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
He's number one right now. Number one. This is his generation. This is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Floyd Mayweather has finally opened up about his plans for a comeback in 2026. He confirmed that his first appearance will take place later this year in the much-hyped exhibition bout against Mike Tyson. However, the bigger surprise was his revelation that, following Tyson, he is preparing for a potential professional clash with Terence Crawford. Mayweather explained that discussions are already underway for a fully sanctioned fight and stressed that both he and his team are working diligently to make his official return to the ring a reality.
Everything is going great. You know, I feel good. Working hard each and every day. And I can't wait for 2026.
When talk turns to dream matchups in boxing, Floyd Mayweather's name is almost always at the center. Even in retirement, his shadow looms large over the sport, fueling endless debates about how he would fare against today's elite champions. Recently, trainer Robert Garcia weighed in on the hypothetical clash between Mayweather and Terence Crawford, offering a dose of perspective. Garcia pointed out that while Mayweather's career was stacked with historic accomplishments, he never achieved what Crawford and Manny Pacquiao did, becoming undisputed champions. Still, Garcia acknowledged Mayweather's unmatched skill and commanding aura, ultimately leaning toward Floyd as his pick in this fantasy showdown.
Man, he doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions undisputed. Is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? Not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more than Pacquiao was A division. So we could argue there because Pacquiao was A division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishment, I think he's already done more.
Robert Garcia made it clear that Terence Crawford's accomplishments stand in a category of their own. Crawford achieved something Mayweather never did, becoming the undisputed champion of a division. Manny Pacquiao, too, etched his name into history by claiming recognition across multiple weight classes. Garcia noted that this is the one area where Mayweather's resume feels unfinished. While Floyd remained undefeated, dominated elite opponents, and stacked up legendary victories, undisputed status eluded him. That doesn't take away from Mayweather's greatness, Garcia stressed, but it does underscore why Crawford deserves recognition as one of the sport's most complete fighters. Even so, when pressed on a hypothetical matchup, Garcia leaned toward Floyd. Drawing on his first-hand experience in the sport, he argued that Mayweather's defense, impeccable timing, and unrivaled ring IQ would give him the edge.
Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win. Both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
I think so.
Prime for prime?
Yeah.
Nice.
But Crawford, one of the greatest of all time, 100%. There definitely he is.
With all that said, what can you ultimately say about what occurred and what we saw Saturday night?
Great event, great turnout, 70,000 plus people. Gate was fucking insane from what I understand. You know, fucking that's good for boxing, man. Good for boxing, good for all the younger fighters. You know, all these new things going on. I think it's going to be a positive thing for all the younger fighters.
When talk turns to dream matchups in boxing, Floyd Mayweather's name is almost always at the center. Even in retirement, his shadow looms large over the sport, fueling endless debates about how he would fare against today's elite champions. Recently, trainer Robert Garcia weighed in on the hypothetical clash between Mayweather and Terence Crawford, offering a dose of perspective. Garcia pointed out that while Mayweather's career was stacked with historic accomplishments, he never achieved what Crawford and Manny Pacquiao did, becoming undisputed champions. Still, Garcia acknowledged Mayweather's unmatched skill and commanding aura, ultimately leaning toward Floyd as his pick in this fantasy showdown.
He's a genius. He is fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom. But sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, he should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion, multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm gonna work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. So I repeat that. I'm gonna work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fighting, and then he works you out. Then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right? In terms of fights that brought all the eyeballs onto him, Oscar De La Hoya fight, you know what I mean? That Pretty Boy Floyd was like, Diego Corrales is probably the best performance really from Pretty Boy Floyd, right? Corrales, I think, was unbeaten at the time. Look what he did to him. But Money Floyd brought the eyeballs on. That's when he started being controversial. Genius outside the ring in terms of marketing. Genius inside the ring in terms defensively, offensively as well. People don't give him enough credit offensively.
Zob Judah, who once shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather, didn't hesitate to anoint Terence Crawford as the king of today's era. He stressed that every generation has its defining star, and right now, that spotlight belongs to Crawford. Judah even referenced Canelo Alvarez's remark that Crawford might be better than Floyd, words he felt carry serious weight. For Judah, Crawford has already proven himself by dominating elite opponents across multiple weight classes, all while displaying a style so complete that no one has figured out how to dismantle it. In making this point, Judah balanced his respect for Mayweather's legacy with recognition that the present moment belongs to Crawford. Comparisons between eras are inevitable, he admitted, but Crawford, in Judah's view, deserves to be celebrated as the undisputed #1 fighter of this generation.
Just saying, in the press conference, Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What do you think?
He's not, man. He fought him. He you know, I can fight down. Fight that for both these guys. So, you know, anybody who knows, we know.
What do you think's next for Mike? You'd like to see a rematch?
You guys always sound good. But the rematch is different thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Matter of fact, the rematch, I'm predicting Falcons earlier.
Bredman Edwards offered a contrasting perspective, dismissing the idea of a Floyd Mayweather versus Terence Crawford showdown altogether. He argued that the matchup feels unnecessary and even unfair, since Crawford deserves to enjoy his current success without constantly being measured against legends of the past. Edwards suggested that if Mayweather were truly interested in a crossover spectacle, a fight with someone like Roy Jones Jr. would be more fitting to iconic names meeting purely for the intrigue and entertainment value. In his view, Crawford is in his prime and should be celebrated for the historic feats he's achieving right now, not pulled into endless what-if debates. For Edwards, constantly comparing Crawford to Floyd diminishes Bud's moment and shifts attention away from the magnitude of his accomplishments. He emphasized that boxing should stop chasing impossible fantasy fights and instead allow Crawford to be recognized as the defining symbol of greatness in this era.
See, never gonna get at this fight, unfortunately. You know, just two different generations. And I'm not necessarily asking you who would win, but if Floyd and Crawford were to cross paths prime for prime, would you just put that as a 50-50? I don't know. Or are you just like, I might still give the edge to Floyd?
You know, man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans. If we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy.
Mm.
know what I mean? And and they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd will be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight. People is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. It's things Floyd do better, things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say. And I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, like make up something just to. I got my opinion on how the fights would go, and but I don't. I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they're taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And unfortunately, they didn't fight. They could have made. They kind of two different eras though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC. Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him, so it didn't happen, and we gotta just live with it. You know what I mean?
Zob Judah, who once shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather, didn't hesitate to anoint Terence Crawford as the king of today's era. He stressed that every generation has its defining star, and right now, that spotlight belongs to Crawford. Judah even referenced Canelo Alvarez's remark that Crawford might be better than Floyd, words he felt carry serious weight. For Judah, Crawford has already proven himself by dominating elite opponents across multiple weight classes, all while displaying a style so complete that no one has figured out how to dismantle it. In making this point, Judah balanced his respect for Mayweather's legacy with recognition that the present moment belongs to Crawford. Comparisons between eras are inevitable, he admitted. But Crawford, in Judah's view, deserves to be celebrated as the undisputed #1 fighter of this generation.
Unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation, and so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened, and then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
You're not kidding, right? Obviously we watched Mike Sean in November against Jake Paul. I think clearly those guys like each other. Floyd and Mike, not so much. Obviously there's been some tension there over the years. Do you think they go in there despite the fact that this is an exhibition fight? I mean, do they go in there and do they both try and take each other out?
I don't know what that fight looks like. That kind of was my biggest apprehension with coming on with you guys today. It was like, how do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show. We already know, like we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is kind of like acceptable, but it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring. It wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake, and I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
Falls apart sometime.
I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know how you can make this one make sense.
And to your point, they may have it, but if they have it, they haven't said it yet. There's no date for the fight, no location that's been announced. So,
right.